be affected by fatigue. How many minutes? But the fact that he did a double counter, and he read the situation there, and look, again, they're playing good defense, switchability, and right happens. Switch again. Now Harris has him, and then bro, jump shot. My goodness, Colin said I'm balling. That 1-3 just unlocked him. I'm about to go. I think he's saying I'm about to go off. I don't know if I got that right, but let's see. And then right here, you see the double screen, obviously. And right here, bruh, Harden's playmaking. And right here, you got to look at KD. You got to see him off the drift, off the, back screen and the fade. You can see he can make an easy arc pass and just in right on time. It has to be right now. Right now, while Nance is stuck on the screen with Jeff Green, you throw it right there and make it clean. You mean, but he waits and tipped. My goodness, man. Bruh, little things like that, a turnover, that's just timing, and you already know in rhythm, because at the end of the day, Harden's playmaking is hella elite. So I'll never knock him for any of those turnovers, because he has hella elite vision. And then look, blow by. And then obviously it's a foul, but that's Harden blow by. The only one who got blown by OD has been Harden. But at the end of the day, Jeff Green blocked it, but it was a foul. Well, I don't think it was a foul, but they called it whatever. At the end of the day, you got a better defense. KD just missed, Kyrie just missed that. We can see his fatigue. That's Kyrie's he's only getting his first early take. Everything else has been taken last seconds. My goodness. He's getting bucket in the last second. My God, bruh, just pulling contested threes. And you see that he's like, I'm here though. I'm balling like my hair though. What we doing? Harden is ball handling. Okay, back screen. And then they foul KD, obviously, but you see Harden he's dribbling because of the limitations. He's now passing to the guys off the ball, and he's the one ball handling and holding the ball predominantly. You know what I'm saying? And what we doing here? Okay, has he? Oh my God, he cooked Kyrie there. Boom, he cooked him there. That was no contest. He got him there. He didn't expect that. A fall away? Okay, he's in his bag. That's the only cook shot. Everything else, and then he cooked him back, bruh. Well, cooked parents, you already know he has to get his get back. Early offense is when Kyrie and KD score, but most of the times it's been Harden playmaking. But you see the shared duties. It's not one way, it's not the other way. It's actually shared duties between them three. You know what I'm saying? And right here again, switchability. Now KD is on him. They're saying they had no defense. KD's on him. And look, my goodness, what are we doing? All contested. My goodness. That's why everyone's so surprised. They're like, God damn, that one last shot from overtime, that 1-3, set it off in the sea. What are we doing? Okay, step back, rebound, these, and obviously Joe Harris got the, the over the back foul, and he's like, God damn, Can they call that shit? Can they? He's like, bro, can they? You already know Kyrie's like, good shit, boy, good hustle. But look, see, even him doing hezzy pull-ups on KD. Y'all acting like there was no defense. The last time down the clock where Colin was eating is all been defense. All contested threes. Not one time, well, only one bucket in the paint on Kyrie, but everything's been contested. Look, switchability and all ISO on my goal cycle, and that's all it's been. Contested threes. Like, this is just better offense. My goodness, better offense. That's all it came down to. And he woke up. Now the momentum changed. His 1-3 unlocked everything. Just unlocked everything. Ability. My goodness. And then now, see, Kyrie's done doing force rush offense. That's the only time he's trying to take over now, because he's just tired of Harden holding the ball and doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So now he's just trying to force the offense because there's nothing happening. And then look, switchability again. Somebody else. What are we doing here? And then they helped. He drove. And then, bruh. Boom. Torian said, I'm the prince, though. That's Game Boy, no Nintendo. Bruh. I know a lot of y'all are talking about, oh my God, like he should, Kyrie needs to be traded. What's going on? Kyrie's chucking up shots and he's the one hustling. How can you get that when the man was the most efficient man on the court? Even more efficient than KD. If you actually now look, now that you saw the context and you saw the breakdown that I gave and showing that IQ, that's what I do, you realize that this is an overreaction of one game, because if you actually pay attention to this game, you will see that they actually padded when it mattered. The fact that they were down 14 or down 12, whatever they were in the fourth quarter, and actually outscored them in the fourth quarter to get the tie was because they actually padded down the stretch. Is exactly what I showed you. They were padded and they went on a run. What actually changed was the fact that, one, they fouled at wrong times, right? Two, It was 1-2 was broken plays and whatever the case was, but mainly they padded. If you actually watch back like what I showed, you can rewind if you want to and go over those. I'm showing you every play that happened. I didn't skip plays. You know what I'm saying? You can check the timing clock on those plays and you'll see that there's no missed plays. There's only a 1-2 missed plays like on the free throws that I didn't show. But I showed majority of the plays that happened, right? And if you actually pay attention, you'll see that they padded. The Nets were actually locking up timely defense. They structured up. They locked up and they were in tuned on defense with switchability, and they actually were playing. I was actually more, if anything, this game showed me more positive signs than negative signs that people are seeing. Obviously, they're looking at it, oh my God, they lost to the Cavs and all that type of stuff, not taking into context. The Cavs have 2 players that were traded from the Nets, Taurean Prince and Jared Allen. You don't think they want to beat the Nets? Y'all gonna trade us like we aren't good enough to be on a championship caliber team? Y'all want to trade us? Nah, kill those guys. And even if you actually pay attention and if you actually go look, I didn't play the clip, but I could have played the clip. But there's a clip before that they showed during the first quarter. They were talking to Larry Nance, like, yeah, we want to get this win for these guys. We're going to be diving on. We're going to be diving for loose balls. We're going to be hustling. We're going to be doing all of that to get the win for these guys. They're talking about Taurean Prince and Jared Allen. So you already know they want this win more than anything to let them know, like, this is, personal type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to see them fight harder and play harder more than anything. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that perspective, like, you got to understand that, like, that's the context behind obviously how they move. But even that aside, if you look, like I was showing the context of the plays and showing the plays down the stretch, if you understand that they've actually were padding. You can't look at the results of makes and say that they were playing no defense. No defense means wide open threes, terrible, IQ, all that type of stuff. Wide open threes did happen in certain situations within the game. That happens for every team, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, early third quarter, early second quarter. If you actually understand the context of even the whole game, the Nets started out the gate 10 for 10 from the field, right? And they were padding the Cleveland Cavaliers at the beginning. How the game changed and they went on a 17-0 run or something like that was what happened was they actually took out Kyrie and KD. They first had the trio start. And then what happened was that basically they took out Harden first, and it was KD and Kyrie, right? After at the 5-minute mark. Those two were in. And when those two were in, for the basically almost the rest of the quarter, they were still up. But then when they took out KD, you know what I'm saying, and they had Kyrie and then Harden in to end the actual quarter, they were still up. But then when they started the second quarter with just Harden with the bench, that's when now the run happened. And then the whole game turned around where now they were end up down 10 or down double digits, basically from that lineup. And then when they brought back in KD and Kyrie, obviously KD now did a 1-2 to stop the blow, and they started bringing it back and getting better. But the lineup with KD and Kyrie was actually good. The lineup with KD and Harden is actually good. The lineup with Harden and just the bench is where the problem was. Because Harden, like I said, has been obviously part of it's trying to get integrated, but a part of it and a lot of it is he out of the trio is the more limited one, which what I mean by that is getting buckets. However, the defense gives you the bucket, he won't do. He only will do the step back 3 and then the layup or the running in the paint floater or layup. He doesn't do mid-range, doesn't do pull-ups, doesn't do hezzy pull. He's not doing all of those type of things. So that limitation becomes more obvious in certain moments and certain situations and is affecting his output and his aggressiveness in terms of what the game is giving him. You know what I'm saying? When they're running all those screen plays, obviously you understand Harden. That's why this is what people don't understand. That's why I try to tell people, if you put KD or Kyrie, and there's no knock on Harden, I'm just being real because I actually like Harden. You know what I'm saying? People that's why I tell people all the time, when Harden was eating with D'Antoni and them in that system that he was in, when you have Kyrie and when you have KD, or you put LeBron or you put whoever, if you put anyone in that same system, they might not average the same 36 like LeBron, I don't think would, but KD, Kyrie, those guys would easily do that. Scorers would eat Devin Booker, actual scorers of that caliber in that same system with all shooters, 5-out offense and all that type of stuff, and maybe one pick at all with Capella only. And then even when they take out Capella or they traded him and it was just small ball, like that offense that they ran a lot. There's the top tier caliber, like when I mean arsenal bucket getter abilities, you know what I mean? Those type of players, they would do what Harden did, might even be more because of the efficiency. But they have never played in that type of offense. You know what I'm saying? So now when you see Harden in this actual offense, right, with the Nets and with the trio, he looks more limited. That you're seeing him look more limited because he scores where the offense is catered for him in terms of not that much movement, not that much down screens, all that type of stuff, that one-way offense. But in this offense, him coming, like I showed you plays, he's coming as the ball handler, you know what I'm saying? And then Kyrie and KD are setting staggered screen and double screens and then flaring out from it and back screens or whatever while he's there, and that he can't score in those situations because he's running screens or whatever. And then when it doesn't happen, now he has his ISO and whatever. If KD has the ball and when they run screens like he even did in Golden State or even in these games, when they run screens and he doesn't see it, then he'll go into his bag pull. Same thing with Kyrie, going to his bag pull off of those situations. But Harden is more limited. That's why he's given the playmaking duties. And he knows it himself, which is why he knew that coming in. That's why he said, KD and Kyrie, we know who they are. As hoopers, you know ability. When you know when someone has more ability than you. If you had more ability, you would never come in thinking like that. Regardless if you came half the season, don't matter. It's due to the ability. That's why when they're all on TNT and everywhere they're saying James Harden is a better one-on-one player than Kyrie, that's just lack of IQ. Honestly, it actually is. Because the person with less limitations and the person that has an array of moves is not a better one-on-one player than someone who, yes, he's scoring one-on-one as well, but he's scoring one-on-one due to certain two situations. Step back or blow by and layup. Those are two situations. What other situation is Harden scoring one-on-one from? Which is why, this is why in playoffs, the people with the more hindered ability or more limitations struggle at the brighter lights because it's harder. It's harder. They're gonna cut off certain things. They're gonna sit on your right hand. There's certain things they're gonna find a way to hinder that ability. So then when you have an unlimited bag, you still find a way. And those are the guys who thrive in those big moments. This is the same thing I say with Curry. He scores in limited situations. This is the same thing I say with even LeBron at moments. But even LeBron, he's just so big and stronger than everybody else, and he can just run into the paint that at the end of the day, even if you try and cut it off, he will still find a way to get that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't even mention him in those limited situations. His limited situation for LeBron is more so like clutch situation, like 2 minutes or whatever the case is. Then you could bring that up. But throughout the whole game, he has the ball in his hands so much and all that type of stuff. Like he's gonna get his and his size. So his limitation is not the same like those small, like these other guys. That is glaring in moments. That's why you see him get 40s in playoffs easily and rise his level of play, because it's not going to matter to that situation. I'll never dumb down LeBron's game to say that he's on the Harden level in the big moments. No, that's cap. That's hella cap. I will never do that. Never do that. You know what I'm saying? Never do that. Like I told you, I'm not biased. I just tell you what it is. This is why certain guys have different abilities. So when you look at it from that perspective, like I told you, Harden is going to be the designated playmaker based off of that. And this is why you've seen 28 shots from Kyrie. You've seen 25 shots from KD, because they will find a way to get theirs. They have you can't stop them in terms of how you defend. They stop themselves. Harden, you can stop based on how you defend him. I'm not saying you could fully stop him, but in an offense with free flowing and a lot of things and a lot of actions happening, he's gonna be more limited in that offense, as opposed to it's harder to stop him one-on-one when you have a 5-out offense and it's just him do that same shit you do every play. That one, it obviously is hard to stop. But in an offense, man's are setting screens, whatever, you're not just going to run to the paint when a guy's coming off a down screen and like he's in the way, right? You get what I'm saying? So like, that's why you see, if you actually take it in with Kyrie and KD, and not only Kyrie, KD, even Joe Harris movement, and like even KD when he was in Golden State, if you actually take it in, there's so many moments where there's terrible spacing because they're just moving so much and curling, running in circles, relocating, whatever. There's bad spacing, but even it doesn't, for that ability, like KD and these guys who have the ball, their ability is so potent that it doesn't matter if Clay was just running into him and running around him trying to get a handoff. It didn't work, relocating by him. He could just one draw. If you actually notice, there's bare times they're hugging each other, no space, and it didn't matter. Same thing with KD when he has the ball, even with the Nets, Kyrie running or coming off, relocating, or he comes close and shortens the gap because he thinks he's coming to get it. Like, it doesn't matter. Still, like, it doesn't matter. But it matters for someone like Harden. And that's the untrained eye that people don't really have, that they don't pay attention to what's going on and what's transpiring. If you have a trained eye, you'll understand that, okay, Harden is being passive because of the limitations. and part of it playmaking as well, but part of it is also limitation in certain moments. Like he's trying to cook. Ah, shit, I might not have the step. I'm not feeling it. Bounce pass to Joe Harris behind him. Yeah, like you know what I mean? And a lot of people were saying Harden didn't attack. He didn't do, like, look how many times he had the ball in his hands down the stretch. They literally split it. If anything, Harden had the ball the most. Kyrie had it in spots and KD had it in spots. But Harden had the ball in his hands, making the decisions. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, like, a lot of media is going to cap to you. They're going to say Kyrie should be traded. They're going to say Kyrie disrupted the flow. They're going to say all that type of stuff as if when KD and Kyrie first started, they didn't go 2-0-2. Like, are y'all serious? Like, y'all acting like Kyrie and KD weren't eating together before Dinwiddie got injured and all that type of stuff. So again, the media is just the way they're gonna flip flop with this team and try and break this team up and create turmoil. This is the same shit they did with Golden State. Like, it's funny. Curry is one of the most lovable guys, but when KD was there, all of a sudden they were just, oh my god, they're messing up Curry's flow. KD's doing it. Like, they said that even about KD. KD's messing up Curry's flow. He's the best player on the team. They said it about KD. But now that it's established that KD's that guy when he wins 2 rings or whatever the case is, and they lose without KD, you know what I'm saying, in the finals and all that type of stuff when he got injured, and they seen the difference when he came back and just 11 minutes. There's too much. He had to, disrupt all your cap. He had to disrupt it and show that his cap for so long that now fans are like, okay, KD's KD. Okay, we're not going to say nothing no more. That now they bring that same KD energy, they bring it to Kyrie, and Kyrie's going to disrupt the flow. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. Like, this is what they do, man. This is what they do. This is what media does all the time. Like, they find a way. They find a way. And then one day, even the same thing, Harden, oh my God, Harden, he's not going to do him so much ball dominant dribble. Like, it doesn't make no sense. KD's ball dominant too. And bitch's cap, all this type of stuff. Harden comes there, he's snapping. Oh my God, they don't need Kyrie. They don't need Kyrie. Kyrie comes, he's snapping. Oh, they need to trade him. He's the like. They're gonna always find a way, man. When I look at it from this perspective, like I told y'all, you gotta don't fall into the media, no IQ and the media, narratives and all that type of stuff. You gotta think the game and you gotta understand what's transpiring before your own eyes. Regardless, this trio is elite. Regardless, Harden is elite. Regardless, Kyrie is elite. And regardless, KD is elite. You know what I'm saying? But what you have to look at is there is some negatives that are validated with this team. For me, again, you gotta understand, I showed y'all enough footage to show y'all that defense in moments and in the big moments, like you've seen versus the Bucks, like you've seen here, defense in moments is not an issue. The issue is through the grand scheme of the game. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the issue is. In the grand scheme of the game, sometimes like rim protection can be a problem. And the funny thing is, the Nets had more blocks. If you go look at the box score, the Nets had more blocks as a team. You know what I'm saying? They had more blocks as a team. They had more, let's go look at his team stats real quick. They had more blocks. They had 16 blocks and 11 blocks. The Cavs only had 6, even with Jared Allen and Drummond and whatever. You know what I'm saying? The turnovers that were bad for the Nets, obviously that's an issue for them, but they still only had 16 turnovers. The Cavs had 15. The assists, that's a problem for it. So much one-on-one. The Nets still had 30 assists. The Cavs had 29. You know what I'm saying? Like, the rebounds is an issue for them. They still had 57 rebounds. The Cavs had 63. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, like, people will find a way to point out something that happens as fugazi at the moment, but in the grand scheme of things, like I told you, those things aren't hefty issues. A lot of the issues is, you know what I'm saying, obviously I do understand the paint and the backup big is an issue. So DeAndre Jordan is not too much of an issue. Obviously he plays lazy at times or whatever, but the backup big like Perry, that is an issue that is a hole they need to fix. A backup big, whether they need to get McGee or they need to like get somebody off the buyout market or whoever, like the backup big is something that is an issue, but it's not enough issue for them to not win. You know what I'm saying? But it is an issue. Like, these are concerns. Like, there are like not red flags. I'll say maybe, what is it? White flags or whatever. I don't know. Small flags. Like, that's what they are. You know what I'm saying? Free throw percentage, they snap, obviously. Their 3-pointers, and this is with them being rusty, 45% from the field. Like, the 3-point defense, they shot 20 for 40. Cleveland shot 20 for 40. So they shot 50% on the Nets. And that obviously sometimes open threes, miscommunication. Like, it's not hella big of a deal, especially when Sexton was snapping down the stretch with how many threes, right? Like, that's literally why the game was lost with all that, with so many threes down the stretch. Now, again, perimeter defense at times. They play lazy defense at times. And it's not like I'm saying they're the best, the great defensive team and all that. But for it to be an issue, I'm saying that like it's so terrible. It's like Portland. That's when I say it's an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't win because the defense is so, they can't even get stops when it matters. Like it's that bad. That's for me. That's when I say it's an issue. Now, again, it is an issue in moments, but in the biggest moments, it hasn't been an issue, their defense. So that's cap. Don't listen to media. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to pay attention to what's happening. Guys are great. Offense is always going to beat the greatest defense no matter who's there. And it's not so much individual defense. Other than Harden, it hasn't been individual defense. It's been team defense, switchability, communication. But down the stretch, they did well. They did very good. I was even surprised. And that's not something you're going to hear from, media or anything like that, because I give that IQ. That's what I do. I was actually surprised. They played great switchability. They actually were switching more with there was less switchability errors or miscommunications and switches than I thought that they might have to start out. You know what I'm saying? They actually were switching pretty well. There's a 1-2 miscommunication and stuff like that. But mainly it was, and that's small ball even with Jeff Green. Mainly it was mainly it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was just an issue of making shots, obviously, and then a 1-2 beat that didn't happen often in the clutch. But other than that, like it's just one of those things where they just got hot off of that bad foul by Harden, which I don't know was coaching or was Nash, but that bad foul by Harden where he was about to take a bad shot and was about to be game, that gave them a reset. And then Colin Sexton got the 3 on Kyrie, which was great defense again. And then I just unlocked him. And now he's feeling good. And then boom, 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 boom. And that's literally what happened. Like, how many times is a man going to snap like that? You know what I'm saying? Especially with it all contested. Like, you didn't even go to the paint like that. So when you look at it, like, don't listen to the media, be capping and a lot of this fugaziness. Now, it doesn't mean those things aren't issues, but they're not glaring issues. The only one big issue that I would say, like I said, is the backup big is atrocity. And DeAndre Jordan at times does not rotate, does not protect the rim like he used to. He does not protect the rim like he used to at all. So again, if you want to say the 2 bigs is maybe an issue, then yes, you can maybe say that. Maybe I can agree with that, but it's not a glaring issue for them not to win. The backup maybe, because again, you can just put Jeff at the 5. You can even put Katie at the 5. There's ways to go around that, right? But again, their depth also too sometimes is kind of an issue. But like I said, you can stagger the minutes, and they've been doing that. So James Harden just has to cook with the bench lineup. He has to shoot a lot. He has to. Enough of it is go shoot like the Houston days, and then you could upset that. So there's ways to avoid the things that have happened. This is one game. There's ways to upset the negative things that you have. There's ways to avoid it and cancel it out. So that's why I won't overreact to one game of a loss. If anything, I see so many positives. Like the fact that you're able to have Katie still get his 30, almost 40. You still have Kyrie to get almost 30, almost 40. Obviously, Harden will be the one sacrificing. Like I said, those two are proven. Harden isn't yet in terms of finals and all that type of stuff. Harden's going back to more of an OKC starter bag. Because in OKC, if you actually pay attention, this is how he played. He'll get his threes, he'll get his layups and all that type of stuff. He shot mid-range here and there and all that type of stuff. He did that too, but he was playmaking. He was him and Eric Maynor, you know what I'm saying, off the bench, and he was playmaking, ball handling, and he was killing. He was scoring, playing like he did that off the bench. But now he's doing that version of himself as a starter. That's what he's doing. At a better version and more IQ version. And that's what he's doing. So it's not like he hasn't, who you are never leaves you, or what you've done has never left you. It's still there. It's in the bag. It's in the repertoire. It's still there. And then now when he goes to the bench, he can go to Houston Harden. But he's just, he's still also as well too. I give him the benefit of the doubt. He's also getting acclimated to everyone just getting acclimated and kind of picking their spots. Do I do this now? So they're still thinking. It's not like they're fully integrated and it's like, okay, I'm here. I do, it's not one of those yet. So that brings a lot of cautiousness as well too. Like Katie on those couple of pull-ups that he had, he was cautious because it's just more so you're thinking maybe I shouldn't. It's one of those ones you just think, just thinking, I have 25 shots. Okay, here. I shot last time, one of those things. So I expect that to remove, the kind of cautiousness, and all that type of stuff. And then, being hesitant and all of that. I expect that to remove a little bit. And then you'll also see another boost of improvement. When that decreases, you'll see another boost of improvement in certain situations. So, at the end of the day, so what elite looks like. I won't say, like I said, I won't overreact to anything. Media is going to cap to you. So just be aware of that. if you hear anybody that's doing this media, they're just spewing the same media sentences or, or same media narratives or whatever the case is, just send them this way. Just send them this way and let them watch this, and they should be enlightened. You know what I'm saying? Have their senses heightened to what really is happening with the context. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do is send them my way, and and then just tell them, yo, appreciate what Elite looks like, and just tune in. No, remove your biases. Just watch. Just watch. Just watch. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Anyways, it's True Talks. There's True Talks. You already know. Share, like, and subscribe. Like I always say, we out here. There's no doubt here, and there's no drought here. You feel me? Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. This is what Elite looks like, man. I am for me, like I told y'all, like, the way I see things and the way I know things are going to transpire and the way I know it's going to change and how things are going to move, and I pay attention to what really is going to matter in an actual clutch and big time game, and what I know is going to translate to like playoffs and stuff like that. Obviously, like I said, doesn't mean you don't play defense at all. Obviously, for me, I would want them to be having stops like Golden State Warriors type of defense, like padding. But you know what I mean? In this kind of pace and space, and the pace and space they're doing and all that type of stuff. And like, I understand that at times it's like, God damn, rotate. Oh, you did it. Okay, whatever. But like when it comes to the time, the moment, the big moment, what do you do? What I saw from them in those moments defensively, I was happy with. I was happy with. Remember, I don't overreact to a bucket go in and look at how it went in. If you're taking a tough shot, step back and contest it or whatever, or pull up or hezzy, like that's what you want. Easy layups, uncontested threes, all of that is where I'm like, okay, this defense is ass. That's stuff like Portland be doing. They cheese me. But like, I'm looking at good defense and they just were in their bag. Like, better offense is always going to be good defense. That's why I always say offense matters more than defense, because if someone plays great defense but your offense ability is too elite, like that defense is canceled. You know what I'm saying? But great offense can never be canceled. So that's why I focus on offense more than defense. Doesn't mean defense don't matter, but that's just what Elite looks like in the hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, you already know it's True Talks, because True Talks, like I said, you already know. We out here. There's no doubt here, and there's no drought here. You feel me? Gotta love it, man. And I'm out, man. Again, if y'all think anything you want to think in the comment section, let me know, man. I'll try to talk and respond as much as I can. You already know. You already know. And I'm out, man.